This looks so sick. All right, cool. I'm ready.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan. We're here at Ricochet today. We're shooting the Poor People podcast. Yeah, welcome. We're gonna start with ice for the NA. About an ounce of lime juice, 2 ounces of blackberry puree. We'll splash lemonade there. Give it a shake. All right, and then we're gonna do a top. It's a press. We got ginger beer and soda on top press. It's like a virgin Moscow Mule for the most part. So our paddle shot is used for like birthdays. Anytime we want to acknowledge a customer, it's gonna be like our strawberry vodka, watermelon schnapps. Gonna do a little pineapple juice in there and shake this guy up. There it is. You can take it with the paddle or you can just take it normal, whichever way you want. Cheers. That's it.
Am I ready? Yeah, I think we're ready. Are we all good to
Rocking
go?
and rolling?
Yeah.
Welcome to Poor People.
Welcome to Poor People.
Hey.
We're here at Ricochet. We're with Amanda and Max. This is going to be a really exciting episode. I'm super pumped for this.
I have a good feeling about this.
I do too. What's our soup of the day? What are we drinking?
Our soup of the day was made by Jordan.
Yeah.
And he is one of our special guests that made the drink. But can you guys tell us? I mean, Amanda, you know what it is. What is it called again?
It's called the Blackberry Backspin.
Okay.
So it has ginger beer, some lemon juice, soda water, and you can choose what kind of alcohol fits your flavor. And then we just top it with some lime, and it's delicious.
Nice.
It's very good. Mine's halfway gone. So.
Yeah, we put. You want to tell them what we put in it? What we put in
What?
yours?
Tequila?
Yeah, she chose violence today. That's what it is. She chose
It's almost
violence.
it's a
Violent
holiday
tequila.
week, okay?
It is, yeah. We all have the day off, right? Well, except for Amanda, probably.
I don't. I have to go to Tonic and go work
When?
Tomorrow.
after this.
Oh,
After
what time?
this and tomorrow?
No, I don't have to work tomorrow.
Wait, what time did you be a tonic?
After this, when I'm done.
Oh, okay.
When we're done.
Oh,
But there's like no rush.
schedule.
I'm doing
Oh.
manager stuff. That's still kind of.
Wow.
But you're not working the Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
I am not. I was gonna be on call, but I'm not. Since I don't live down here, I live 30 minutes away. That doesn't really work out very well in that person's favor if they're not necessarily. I don't want to say drowning because that's not how
Yeah.
that is. It's just like if we need extra help to get people to get served diligently. But yeah. Everyone's ready for Blackout Wednesday. Who's ready for Blackout Wednesday? Because I know since tomorrow's my day off, I might be dabbling in some alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Compared
exciting.
to
You have
what?
it off, so okay. That's fun.
Well,
Are you guys
everyone's-
working?
Yeah, I'll be here until 8, and then Jordan will be closing, which is
Nice.
great. It's
Nice.
my first Blackout Wednesday where I'm like, you have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some memories tomorrow.
Yeah.
Memories.
How many holidays have like each of you worked? Like in the last, like as long as you've been working here at Ricochet, like how many holidays do you think you've worked?
Well, we've worked every St. Patrick's Day together.
That's mine.
And there is some trauma bonding with that.
Ooh.
We're closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve and Christmas, which is really nice. I worked every New Year's. I don't know. No, and then
I always call it off.
yeah.
New Year's.
You're a
Oh,
brat.
he is a brat.
Do you go out on New Year's instead?
Yeah.
Or travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
shows?
Yeah.
I'm
You're a brat.
Amanda's
That's
St.
fair.
Patrick's Day person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Halloween. Halloween gets crazy here, so Halloween's a fun one to work. But
Yeah, for sure.
ever since we've opened, I've worked all of them. He was probably worked 75% of them. They're
Yeah.
fun.
They are
They're
fun.
fun to work here.
Yeah.
You know.
I bet
It's
with
such
all
a-
the games and everything.
Yeah, and it's a big establishment too. There's so
Yeah.
much room for activities. Well, hence all the games and whatnot here. But yeah.
Literally so
And
much room for activities.
We
So
don't
much
have a
room for activities.
cover. So
Oh,
we get
yeah.
a lot of movement, which is really
Yeah.
nice because we don't have to deal with necessarily people camping and like progressively getting
Yeah,
drunk.
yeah.
We get like some drunk people and then they leave.
Yeah.
And it kind of rotates out. So that's
Okay,
really fun.
I have a question about that, but first let's introduce you guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
was gonna say
Yeah,
we need
sorry.
to backtrack
Yeah.
and explain
Yeah.
some things.
I have a question
first.
about that, but then yeah. So Max, if you want to start, introduce yourself, what you do here.
My name's Max. I'm a bartender. Been here since day one. I was hired by Mike.
What was day one? When was that? How long have you been here?
January 8th, 2022.
Damn, dude. Do you
To
know
the
that?
day. This
Honestly,
place is my blood.
before we started, I was gonna ask Amanda when opening day was again. But yeah, Ricochet used to be a game lounge in East Village, and the owner of it, who started it, my brothers were kind of part of it. And then I was kind of done with bartending from my last gig, and then I got approached like a year before they opened, and they were like, "Do you want to bartend?" And I was like, "Do I have to serve food?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Yep, I'm in."
Yeah.
That's about
Yeah.
it. So again, that's why I just kind of work whenever they want me to, but also just kind of happy they balance my other schedule with my other job.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and then Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm the general manager. I started off as a bartender here, and then about 5 months in, moved to events managing, and now I'm the HBIC.
So
Yeah.
that's how you know what day Max started, was because you also started here as a bartender. before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and every year it comes around, and I just get so excited, like it's a child. Like right now, if Ricochet was a child, it'd be walking.
Yeah.
Aw, I love that.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been bartending in general?
I've been bartending since 2018.
Okay.
Yep.
I
Nice.
would say probably like 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
Bar backing to bartending.
Yeah, in the industry.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I met Max when you were bar backing at Roca.
Yeah. And it was, I mean, they've been open now for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
I was one of their first bar backs,
Uh-huh.
and I was kind of forced into it because my older brother was bartending, and they just needed a bar back. And yeah, that's actually how I met the owner here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He always sat at the end of the bar, and it got so busy, they
Yeah.
were like, "You need to start making drinks." And I was like, like what?
Yeah. That's kind of how I got in. I bar backed first also, and they just needed someone on a weekend that was super busy, and then they asked me to keep coming back.
Yeah.
And then So
I
you
feel like
you bartend from there. You're fine. Go ahead.
I feel like with bartending, they have this pre-notion, like when you want to get into bartending, that you have to have all this experience and you need to do this, this, and this. And then when you start to get in a bar or a server, you just realize that you just need to be in the right place at the right time
Yep.
because you're going to get called up when you're in a pinch.
Yep.
Like start pouring your own beer, sis.
Yeah, and you
Correct.
have to be just thrown into it
Yeah.
to start doing it.
Yeah.
You can't really you can prepare a little bit, but to really know it, you have to just be thrown right in.
100%.
Sink or swim. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to learn too. Like I can't learn any other way. Like I won't remember a shot until someone is staring me in the face and I'm running to find it. Guess what? I'll never forget it again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel the same way, especially when I train people too. It's like I can teach you so much, but at some point you have to learn it yourself. So I've been told that that's not the best way to train, but then also it's that's how I was trained.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's honestly, if me personally, I want to be thrown into the shit and then figure it out while I'm doing it, compared to being oh no, you're okay, you'll be fine. Oh yeah, green tea. Oh no, I'll make it.
Yeah.
No, it's no, tell me how to make a green tea and I'll fucking make 12 of
I
them
feel
right
like
now.
that's how you know if someone's gonna make it in the industry or
Exactly.
not, though,
Yeah.
or if they're gonna fucking quit the next day.
Yeah, you have to put them through that test.
Yeah.
And be can you handle it
Yeah.
or not?
You're going to be able to
agree.
handle everything underneath pressure. And
Yeah.
I think we've all done that very well.
Also, just not afraid to just be like, "How do you make it?"
Yeah,
Right.
that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Not being
I'm
afraid
just
to
not
communicate.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing too, is that when people who have never bartended come in and they start training or whatever, they'll be oh, I don't want to be annoying. It's no, dude, tell me. Tell me immediately that something's going on.
Have you ever caught yourself being so direct and just forward and you're oh, I'm sorry. You just asked me a question and I'm just telling you and I'm not being I don't want to say sensitive, but like I'm
Like
not,
when you're training someone.
yeah, like when they ask me something and I'm like, oh, you just do this, and I'm like, da da da,
Well,
and then I'm like,
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have like said it like very forward, like, but I mean that's just how we're just used to doing it, and when I'm talking, it's like I'm talking to myself, I'm doing my inner monologue, so like I'm just speaking out loud, and I feel like I'm like, oh, sorry, this is what you do,
Yeah.
and then you start showing them because I just automatically start doing it.
See,
but-
and I feel like you've been in the industry so long that it's like second nature to you,
Yeah.
that it's like the answer is so obvious to you because you can do it in your sleep.
Yeah, correct.
But to someone who's new, it's like I can see how they would be like afraid to ask questions,
yes,
but like
yeah,
you have to.
yeah, yeah.
When I
hate
do
training.
training, I look at them at the beginning and I say, I'm gonna go real fast and I'm gonna be in my element. Do not take it personal, and please write down questions.
Yeah.
Because girl, you were one and the same with me. And
Yeah.
so if I'm direct, if I'm like getting my butt beat and I'm being direct, I'm like, this is not about you. I'm so sorry. We'll go back over this later. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you need to do this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like precautions always.
Yes.
Anytime
yes.
you make me train someone, I am just like, really?
He doesn't train often.
No, yeah. No?
He's more
You
of a
just don't-
shadower.
Well,
Hey man, I'm sorry.
I
Didn't we just
forget.
recently call him a brat because he doesn't want to work the holidays and you don't want to train?
Yeah.
What do you
So
do?
like, what do you actually do
Yeah.
here?
Well,
I
know it sounds
personality
Yeah.
higher.
See,
He keeps our
yes.
vibes.
Hell
I get it.
yeah.
He
Hell
is the
yeah.
golden retriever. Like he,
Dude.
I'm telling you, he'll come
It's
back
necessary.
at the end of the night.
It is.
And at the end of the night, he'll be the most tired because he gave 110% of his energy just in that communication. But don't ask him to help close.
Yeah, if I know I worked really hard, I'm like, yep, that's you.
Actually, on Saturday, this last Saturday, one of our newer bartenders, she was sitting there, and we had, you guys, like probably over 150 taps to put in at the end of the night. And she's working on them, and I'm on the other side of the bar counting cash. And I look at Max, and he has his hand on his head, and he's just talking to her, not helping her with tips, not doing anything, just talking to her, making her laugh. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let it go because you are what she needs tonight.
Yeah, you bring the vibes.
Literally.
I told her, I was like, yeah, I came in at 5. I was supposed to be gone at midnight. I'm still here.
Vibing.
So I was just watching her. Just like, I was like, do you need anything? No. Okay. Yeah.
Were you peacocking?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
How do you remember? Do you remember it?
Do I remember?
Do you remember talking to her?
Yes.
Making her laugh and everything?
Yeah, but I was just.
He
keep
was
the combo-
tired.
Oh, yeah.
keep the combo going. You know, I just didn't want to clean.
He was done. And he was done, and he was doing his job as the personality.
Yeah.
Keeping us afloat.
Yeah.
I own it. But yeah, there's times where I need mana to be like, you know,
Put the
do
hammer down.
something. Yeah, and I do.
And you do.
Does that ever like halt your relationship as friends and coworkers where like she tells you what to do?
I do it so nicely. I'm like, Max, why are we just talking? Hey, Max,
I love
what are we
that.
doing right now?
Because he's a golden
Sorry,
retriever.
Manos. Yeah.
If she's mad at me.
I always do it
yes,
like
ma'am.
that.
Like, yep.
It's in the middle of the shift. If I have to say it like multiple times, then I come up and I'm like, what are we doing? And he's like, oh, nothing. And then he'll come back and be like, I'm sorry, man. I'm like, I'm sorry for snapping.
I've just known her for so long that I just know when to stop pushing buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
that's fair.
actually friends before bartending, and he's actually kind of crazy. He's the reason I'm here right now.
Okay.
So he worked at Shorty's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I had kind of taken a break from bartending. I just needed some time, and he was like, hey, Shorty's is hiring. You should go work down there. And I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. So when I went down there, that's when I met the owner and the old GM. And that's when they asked me to come here. So really, without Max, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I owe all my success to him.
Aw. I love that.
I just felt like I was sick of going to Norwalk to see you. And then finally, when you were open to work down here, I was like, you're not working anywhere else but here.
Yep.
Like, that's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My boy.
Aw, I love it. I love it.
So yeah, it makes it easy when we're in business mode. Like,
Yeah.
just dial in.
So just work together. Yeah.
And it keeps it fun and fresh. You know, I don't feel bad if I hurt his feelings because we're gonna be
Right.
fine at the end of the
Yeah.
night. But that's how our whole staff is actually. Like we have such a good dynamic here that people one, hold each other accountable, but people's feelings don't get hurt if you have to correct them,
Right.
you know? And at the end of the night, like we could have yelled at, you guys know how it is behind the bar and it's crazy and you just yell at someone for being in your way. At the end of the night, it's like all of it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys do that at your bar too. It's like once that 2 a.m. is hit, the shots are out and we are not
Chilling.
bartenders,
Yeah.
we're fam.
Yeah.
You know?
All breathe.
Yeah, literally.
It's
So
definitely-
what's
Good
your
now.
trauma story
Yeah.
from the night? Tell me about
Right.
your horror.
Yeah.
Last weekend.
Oh, what was last week?
Yeah. Was it crazy or something?
Should we talk about it?
Yeah.
If you're
You're
able
into
to.
it.
Yeah, so Max come up and tells me just some random stuff, and I looked at him and said, Max, some girl shit on the floor and somebody stepped in it and I had to clean it up. And he said, yeah, me. I had to clean up girl shit in the women's bathroom at midnight. And he said, you win, and walked away.
Okay, hold on. Where was this girl shit at? Like, was it in the stall?
It was,
it like?
no, it was in the hall.
Oh
like
my
yes,
God.
so our
Oh.
bathrooms,
Holy.
it's a line, right? So you walk in, there's a mirror, and there's a line, and then there's like a little wall. It makes like a little hallway. It was on the floor, and it, guys, it was like the size of my dogs, and someone had stepped in,
Like
it,
a full on.
and my first thought was, somebody is walking around here with shit on their shoes.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
and so I had to clean it up, and that right after, it was amateur hour on Saturday. Like someone had our dart boards that are drilled into the walls in their hands. Someone threw up all the way. We had to close the bathrooms, man.
Oh my
I
god.
did see a guy throw up in the trash can, and it was so busy. I just
Yeah, okay, so
Looked away.
when it is like super busy like that and there's shit like that going on, like, I mean, other than like solving the problem immediately at hand, you know, like picking up whatever, cleaning whatever, like, how do you, like, because this can't be, I mean,
It's
maybe
too
it's the
big of
first
a
time
bar.
somebody shit on the floor.
It's not.
But, like, but I guess my thing is, like, how do you, like, deal with that? Because you guys get really busy here, like shoulder to shoulder, and this is a big space. So, like, at that point, how are you guys like handling those situations when you're like, if you're behind the bar and you have like 12 or 14 tickets, you know, and then you're like, oh, somebody's shit in the hallway. You're like, how do you like go about like managing that whole process?
So the bartenders, they're rock stars. They handle the bar. They don't know what the hell's going on outside of it. So as long as they have their done, it's usually me or Jordan, the other manager, running around like a chicken with my head cut
Yeah.
off. And usually it's just, how serious is it?
Right.
And like, how quick can we clean this up?
Right.
And most of the time, it's like my brain is a list. So if someone's throwing up in the trash can, I would grab security. Hey, kick them out. The poop in the bathroom, ran in, clean it up. And you just kind of take it every second by second.
You don't check like everybody's shoes.
I should. I
say
should
over the
Which one
intercom,
of these
whoever
shoes?
just shit in the hallway,
You're
get
out.
the fuck out.
You're out.
feel
Well,
like-
you know what's funny is I have our security cameras on my phone. So the guy that threw up all the way in the middle of the floor, all the way down the bathroom, I pulled it up on my phone, found who he was in less than a minute, screenshotted it, and then I had my security go kick him out. And when he went to fight back, all my security did was hold up his camera, and the guy said, valid, and walked out. Yeah, so like I am always 2 steps ahead of
Yeah.
other people, and we always try to keep it cool and calm.
yeah.
So like
that's what I was gonna say.
we
That's
never
important.
come off aggressive. Like even when people get into fights, like I'll walk up and be like, hey, I get it. I get it, but you gotta go. And then they try to get mad at me, and I'd be like, I didn't start the fight.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's not my fault. And so like I think that's what helps is that once if you can keep the vibe really cool, the chaos is manageable.
Right.
I would
Yes.
say
Yes.
the moments when I know Amanda's or Jordan or our security are into something, they just give me that look like, dude, kill them with kindness, and that's when you realize some customers around you are kind of aware of something happening. You're just like, hi,
Yeah.
Distract.
welcome to Ricochet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the big thing we drill into the bartenders is like, do not feed into the drama.
Right,
Because
yeah.
once the bartenders make a scene, then everyone makes a
Right.
scene.
Yeah.
And
Eyes
if my
are on
bartenders
us.
make a scene,
Chaos.
they're getting their asses chewed.
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing I need when
Well,
I'm dealing with a fight.
And just as a bartender, I think that's important. That like, I mean, that really happens anywhere. Is like
Yeah.
you have to be able to just like maintain calm. Like, you know, there could be a fire outside, like, and you're just like, hey, what do you want to drink?
I just think how
You know,
big
like-
this space is.
Yeah.
It's like one corner is calm and like
It's like a click, huh?
50-year-olds or older, you know, it's just like in a different world. And in the other corner, it's 21.
Right.
And just like, you know, I feel like it's very noticeable in a closed off,
Yeah.
like smaller bar. Here, it's easy to give that look of like, okay, you're dealing with something. We're just going to make sure the rest of the crowd is not
Okay.
aware of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
not a way we're ignoring it. You know, we don't want them to think that we're purposely distracting them, but it's more of like,
They look at you to make sure you're
yes,
cool.
Exactly.
Right.
They're like, are they making a big deal about it? And once the bartenders are like, nah, and then they're like, oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good poor people tip for sure. Is like as a bartender, like just remain calm.
Yeah.
Like everything will be fine until
Yeah.
it's not. You know, and
Exactly.
then you'll know.
I always say it's never that serious.
Right.
Ever. I was training
Yeah.
our new events manager. I'm like, it is never
I
that
will say
serious.
at 1:40 Saturday, there was like 6 people staring for drinks, and they saw how we were at the end there, and I was like, what? Like, how are you still drinking?
Yeah.
Like, the lights are on. I'm supposed to serve you, but I don't want to. And so to me, it's the last drink you make is when you're like, I can't hold it anymore. I
Yeah.
can't. There's shit on the ground.
Pro tip, don't be the last drinker in the bar.
Yeah.
I love it when they ask you like, "Oh, have you called last call?" Yeah.
Yeah.
4 times.
As soon as the lights come up, like my personality is like it's
Gone.
off.
Yeah.
To me, though, it's
And
that
cut.
person, if
Yeah.
they actually had an issue and let's say like they wrote a review, like he was mean, I would gladly be like, it was 140 and there
Yeah.
was 200 plus people here. Like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
But also, it's 1:40 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
They are not gonna remember that.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
So me going up to him and be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've already annoyed me
Yeah.
tonight. Like,
I don't know. I
Not
just
that
think
serious.
I just don't like it when like you've already called last call a couple of different times, and this is what happened to me last night. And I was like, "Are you gonna call last call 4 times?" He was like, "Well, I want another shot. I'll
Yeah.
tip you really well." I go, "I understand that, but if I pour you shots, I have to pour everyone else shots."
you
So-
explaining that though,
I
way
know.
more tolerance for
I know, but then I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So then I poured him their shots, and obviously he did tip me very well. And then again, everything else followed through. So like, follow the leader. Like, oh, you said. I'm like, okay, I understand what I said. I'm gonna get you guys more shots, but like, it's just one of those things where when you call last call and you're ready to go and you're just done for the night and you're dragging your feet, and then they say that, and it's like, okay. I have to mentally prepare myself. Like, okay, yeah, I already know what's about to happen. And I mean, you make more money that way. But again, I understand where you're like at the end of the night.
I will say we kind of pride ourselves on not like saying leave. You know,
We do it nice and
Yeah.
nice. So there's signs that go up on all of our TVs that say it's bar closed, it's time to go. Our security gives them a 10-minute warning at 1:40, and then they do a 20-minute warning, and then they do a 10-minute warning, and then they do 5. So we do it nice and not passive aggressive, but like
we've
Yeah,
like
go
gotten to a point where sometimes the last person leaves at like 2:15, or no, 2.
most of the time everyone is out of here by 1:47.
Oh, really?
Well,
I look at my
never
clock every
mind.
time because we can't take shots until everybody's
Okay,
out.
so
And
Yeah.
from my perspective,
1:47, give me
Yeah.
that Milagro.
it seems like it's like 2:30 for
Looking
me.
at that.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's nice, just kind of gauging like people wanting us to yell at them, but we're not.
Well, I was gonna say too, like if you have people like, let's say they're not drinking anymore or whatever, but they're just like waiting inside for like an Uber or something. Nobody can be in here past 2.
Nobody
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Yeah, no, and we get yelled at a lot for it. So actually, last winter I started implementing. We don't have to do it, but I do feel bad for kicking people out. At 1:15, I will walk up to every person in here and say, "Are you driving or are you Ubering?" And they say, "I'm Ubering." I'm like, "Call your Uber now because you can't wait in here." At 1:15, because I do feel bad, but
Yeah.
I always tell them, if a cop comes by here and sees everyone up in this bitch and
Yeah.
I get a ticket, I'm not paying it.
Well, yeah. Ultimately, you got to make sure that like your establishment is fine. You know.
There's too many windows.
Of course, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
either way, I mean, like at the same time, like yeah, you're taking care of this entire place, so it's not just you not wanting people in here. You know, it's more just like
Liability.
I have to do this.
It's
And
the
I
law.
also want my shot.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get out.
exactly.
Yeah.
I gotta take my shot before
I
2
cannot
a.m.
take
and
a
that's
shot
happening.
with you guys in here. Get out.
Yeah, no. If you're a worker and you're drinking inside your establishment and you're underneath employment, you can drink in your bar.
Yeah.
Well, right,
as long as
right.
you can't, as long as
Yeah.
you don't sell it.
But
Yeah.
you can't have exactly.
But
So
you can't drink with customers in here.
Yeah.
But that's what I don't know is if in like here anyways, well anywhere in downtown, like do you like are you allowed to stay in the bar after 2 even if you're not drinking or buying shots? Like typically
No, not
is
if
that
you're-
like I don't know what the law is.
No.
So I mean I know it differs per
I think
place
think
probably.
there's like a different law for that because like employees are allowed to stay in there and drink
right
and whatnot.
because
but
you're
like,
like doing
yeah,
cleaning
but like
whatever.
if I'm like taking someone home, then yeah, I can speak for them. But like if it's if someone has been drinking or like what that was a bar patron or anything like that, they can't be inside your bar.
Okay.
They have to go.
I just didn't know
But
what
I
the
bet there's like a little like
what the law was
like
for
a
that.
white line where there it would be different. But I don't know. We would have to look that up.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't looked too much into it because I'm like at 2 a.m. we're done.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was just telling them I'm
Right.
gonna get a ticket. I have no idea.
Well, and that's how most places are. It's
Yeah.
like we're gonna get you out before we're closed for sure. But
Yeah.
I just didn't know if it was like a law
Yeah.
that like you have to
Well,
have.
I mean, it is true that we do get fined if we have people in our place of work past 2, and
think-
that is not a lie.
drinking though.
Yeah.
Well, it's also transactions after Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. It's
Okay.
like you can like that's what I was wondering.
But you're
like
saying more like if people are just
if
not
they're
drinking
not
and
drinking
sitting
and they're
there.
just like sitting there, are they allowed to do that
Right.
or not?
It's just up to you how long you want
not
to
if I don't know
tolerate
them.
that.
No, they're not
Yeah.
allowed to do that.
So
Nope.
for us, it's like
Not if it's
no
like
tolerance. But if you work a lot
Yeah.
of bars we all go to, I mean, obviously
Right.
it's like your
I mean,
friends.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
You know.
yeah.
But
We have
yeah,
a
here
set,
it's like
guest list.
it's almost
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
watching for you to want to be like, yeah, go ahead, and then they just abuse it.
yeah.
So
Right.
it's like-
Exactly.
It's like we're not trying to be mean, but it's
No.
like
Go home.
go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
It's
been
like
here
very
long
noticeable
enough.
you're here.
And I always tell them, I'm like, listen, I know you don't want to go home either, but tell them to make the bars open till 3 and we can talk. But
Right.
Yeah.
it's 2.
No.
Well, that's
Yeah, go
why I
home.
was thinking about this. Is like the places like where bars are open till 3. Like, are they allowed to stay? You know, or just like sit there for a second because like you get that extra hour of drinking. So it's like
Well, I don't.
I
Well,
think it's when they sense like you're a bartender, or,
Right.
like you are really nice to them, and you tell them ahead of time your situation. If you're nice, they'll probably
Right.
most likely let
Right.
you wait.
just like at least
know?
stay, like if it's cold outside or something, you know.
right, like
Yeah.
and I was in Kansas City, and I stayed after it closed at this Irish pub, and it's definitely because they sensed how
your vibes were right.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything. All I did was just like closed out. I told them that like I ordered my lift. I told them what I was doing, so therefore
So
it's like,
communication is what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you
gotta
couldn't do that for
plan.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
no,
I don't
it
know.
being
makes
Regardless,
upfront.
people can go to the damn strip club. Buy
Adios.
buy your to go case of beer
That
at where
is-
I work,
yeah.
and you can go there and hang out.
Yeah, that's
I-
what I tell people.
Or go to
think it comes
Appy's, find
down
someone that's
to
doing
how you
frickin'
order
Appy's.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're like aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you need to wait outside for your Uber.
Mm-hmm.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was just curious about that. I didn't know if it was a thing or not.
I mean,
but
that's a
clearly
really
it
good
is.
question. I
It
don't
is. Yeah.
It is kind of
It
funny.
is. I looked it up. hold on. I just closed out of it.
Wow. Way to go there.
Okay, hold
Butterfingers.
on. Okay, according to Iowa law, bar patrons must leave the establishment by 2 a.m. as alcohol sales are prohibited after that time, meaning no one should be served or consuming alcohol in the bar past 2 a.m. Applies to all days of the week with Sunday sales starting slightly after 8 a.m.
Huh. Damn, so we're not supposed to be drinking at all. Does it include
Well,
bartenders or anything like that?
I mean, it's sales. So
Oh,
as long
okay.
as you're not
Transactions
selling it.
have to
yeah.
stop after 2.
Okay.
So like if you're a bartender and you're allowed so many drinks or whatever while you're after your shift, then
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay.
But as long as like no one should be served or no say served or consumed. We'll just cut that part out.
That does not happen.
This is
here.
also AI. This is AI answering this
Oh,
question.
okay.
So
That?
like AI doesn't really know a whole lot to be honest.
Shifty tab.
Bring it in the next day. Yeah,
I wanted to ask you guys, is there a specific spot that you guys sit at in this bar when you come here to drink? Where's
Yeah.
that spot at?
We sit in the back. So, our bar is a U for the people that haven't been here, and we always sit on the back sides of it.
Okay.
I don't know why.
It's just like your little corner, pin baby in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just I think that's because it's easier to talk to the bartenders back there.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
okay.
is that like the bartender's like resting place?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
kind of hangs out at the back of the bar. And it's always been that way since we've opened. So
Yeah.
if we come in on our off days, you always check that back spot to see which
Yeah,
ones are here.
if I'm sitting up front, it's really out of place for me.
Yeah, it's awkward.
So I was told
Yeah.
this weekend. That wasn't your cliche spot.
You
So.
texted me, and I was like, I don't see you. And I was like,
you did not pass that pillar.
she was up front.
Yeah,
Like,
once you
okay.
pass that first pillar, it's like, I don't know who you are. I never seen you before.
Exactly. I told you I was at the bar.
Yeah, and I just sat down at the front and I was like, okay, and you said you were coming and I was like, all
Okay,
right.
but your bar, I always come to your.
Little corner. I know, because we always sit close to the pool table. That's our corner. Like we sit closer to like that area. I always sit at the very end though, but there's never a chair there. But for some reason, we all migrate
Yeah.
to the back.
Do you think that's because when you walk in, you don't want to be at those front spots? You know what I'm saying? Because like when you walk in, it's like that's kind of where all the
Well, there's a lot of people. So like our back door is kind of like the front door, right? If people
Yeah.
actually know how to use the back door, that they know that it's unlocked. So like people will see me in that way. So that's technically kind of the front door atmosphere as well. But you are correct. The main front door, I just don't like having people come up and see me in the middle of the bar, only because when I'm there, I'm like on call and I just want to decompress. And I love having conversations with people. But sometimes us as bartenders, we're there to, when I'm in tonic, I'm working.
yes.
I am working. It's like every time I'm in there, I'm not working. I'm always doing something, and it doesn't matter if I'm behind the bar or outside of the bar. Yes, I may be drinking, but I'm always helping my girls. If something bad happens, like it's just I can't help it.
It's turned on.
Yeah.
Your manager's
Also,
turned
though,
on. You don't turn it off.
Yeah.
Like at Tonic, if let's say like a busy fight night.
Yeah.
When I'm in and I get a drink from you in the middle,
Yeah.
I feel like the people sitting right there hearing our conversation is like, I hate this. Like,
Oh,
they're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
listening to us.
Yeah.
And it's not like an automatic like frustration, but it's definitely like the personal convo is better for the sides.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, when it's busy like that, it's
Yeah.
kind of like we'll talk later.
yeah.
But in those moments, it's definitely just like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, why are you talking to her like that? And it's like, what? Like, I don't want to. Like, I'll just go get my drink on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Haley, where do you sit when you go to Bomb Bar?
Honestly, anytime I've been in Bomb Bar, like when I'm not working, I sit at a table. But
Oh,
it's like
okay.
I'm just like chatting with like a group of friends.
Yeah, because we
usually.
never really necessarily get to do that.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
feel like
I'm just always at the bar, so I don't want to be at the bar.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fair.
know.
That's fair.
Well, I was gonna say I feel like it's different for every restaurant, like
for sure, 'cause the way
every
that you
bar,
get your setup.
whatever. Because like for here, it makes sense that you guys would come to the back because like you're kind of away from everything. Whereas like the bar that I work at, we kind of go to the front, like right behind, like the front door is right behind us basically,
Yeah.
because like nobody goes there. So it's like. And you're also closest to the well too, the only well that we have. So it's like, it just makes sense for us to go there when we're done off work or whatever. Whereas like everybody that walks in immediately walks past that spot and like sits on the other end
Yeah.
for whatever reason. So I almost feel like it is kind of one of those things where it's like you just kind of accumulate like wherever people don't typically go.
Yes.
And wherever's closest to like your bartender.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I just like that because us bartenders, we have a specific spot in the place that we work at, and that's where we chill.
Yeah.
And if you're not coming to that spot, then that's your problem because we're sitting there, we're not moving.
Literally.
Well, and like at Bombar too, like with you sitting at the table, like you can still see the table.
Right.
And so like otherwise everybody else is gonna come up to the bar, you know? So it's like that's where the people like don't accumulate as much, you know?
Right.
So like that's why you sit there.
Yeah, and you can kind of people watch.
Dude, I just had a whole
Yeah.
brain blast here.
I would
Like,
say-
there's some psychology
I
behind
will
this
say
shit,
for us
dude.
though, having the U, and it's just like anywhere can go anyone. Anyone can go anywhere. There's moments where you can't just chill. Like
Yeah.
when you show your spot of being yourself looks bad. And so that's where I respect Manda. And she's like, hey, like, don't be on your phone. You know,
Oh,
stuff
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that. Like right there. Because then those are moments definitely when people, they like that vibe where they're like standing asking for a drink in an area where the workers are more comfortable. But also it's like, I don't want them to think that like, you know, there's also someone next to them that's mad that I'm
Not
took
serving
2
them.
seconds
Yeah.
to
Right.
Yeah.
take a breath.
Yeah.
And that's why it's also kind of like hard sometimes to not have like just like at Bomb Bar, I say towards the bathrooms at the end.
Mm-hmm.
If you're standing over there, it's just like noticeable of like deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But here it's just kind of hard because I feel like all eyes are on you,
all the time.
360.
There is no like, unless they go back into the AV room, there is nowhere to hide at that bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is nowhere. Everyone can see you all the time. We don't have like a cute little back corner. No, it
That's-
is like, and of course, you guys know customers. As soon as you take a step back and you like go to the back of the bar to check your phone or take a breath, that's when 3 or 4 people
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
you
Yep.
every
Yep.
time. And
Yep.
yeah, I am on their asses about it. Like,
So yeah, like
Give
the
me a
little,
second.
I would say like the little hallway, little walkway we have in the back. That's why Jay over the weekend said he would put a plaque with my name on it right at the like I take a knee almost. I just squat down so no one can see me. I'm under the bar.
Oh my God.
But all my coworkers
Heads
are
in his
used to me doing it because it's like I don't want to just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can't be looked at right now.
Well, you.
And
Sorry.
it's just like it's the way to hide.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't want to go to the AV room. AV
Yeah.
room. Like, I just,
Oh yeah, we squat down in the middle of tonic
Right.
all the time, but like you can still see me. But my ass, if
Right.
I'm squatting down,
If
that
I'm
means I need like
squatting,
2
don't
seconds
ask
from you
me
guys.
for-
Yeah.
He was bringing up Pourest. Can you tell them about Pourest for me?
Oh, yeah, I would love to. Okay,
we have
so,
a lot of details about this. You guys would probably want to.
So yeah, we're doing this bartending competition at Bomb Bar. It's there's cash prizes. It's 3 rounds. Basically, the first round, accurate pour, just who can pour the most accurate qualifies. And then the second round will be in the weeds. So we'll give like 3 random drinks that you have to make as fast as you can and as accurately as you can. And then our third round is just best cocktail. So yeah, we're doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing it at Bomb Bar. We're having signups right now too, which will be really cool. It'll just be cool to see everybody there. We'll have donations going to Best Buddies. And yeah, it's just going to be, we're going to live stream everything. It's really just, we're just trying to do like a fun bartending competition that's not like super serious. And it's just like kind of whoever wins a good cash prize and a bunch of other stuff. And then, well, yeah, we'll be doing like other stuff in between that.
And
all
it's
that.
also going for a good cause as well, especially Best Buddies. And then
Yeah.
Everyone gets to see the basement of Bomb Bar as well because they've been trying to open that up for a decent amount of time.
We're planning on it being in the basement of Bomb Bar,
Yeah.
provided that we're able to do that.
Yeah, able to
Otherwise,
do
it'll
that.
just be a Bomb Bar.
Yeah. But it's just a good time.
Yeah.
And the sign up is in the link in the bio.
Yes.
So
in
like
our
if you guys
Instagram
would
bio.
like to be a part of it, it is in the bio. So you get to tell everything. But you do have to pay We're
it's
paying,
like $10, but
Yeah,
we'll collect it
deposit
at
down.
some point.
yeah.
Doesn't it's not it's just
to
there
hold your place.
It's just
Just come.
it's literally just
Yeah.
there to hold your place that you're gonna for sure be there.
Yeah.
And then those entrance fees, which is only for competing people.
Yep.
If you want to compete, then you have to pay $10.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's free to watch. It's free to go and enjoy. But then that'll also go towards the cash prize and everything. And
Oh, that's
So, yeah.
really dope. That's
It'll
really
be-
cool that you guys are putting that together.
it'll
Yeah.
be really
Yeah.
fun. And it's like everyone's like, oh, I don't think I could do this. I'm like, dude, you could definitely do
Yeah.
this. Like,
Well-
this is for fun.
Oh,
like,
it's for so much fun. What's your word you like to use? It's very
lackadaisical.
Yes. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Not that
such a good
serious.
word,
yeah,
dude.
it's not. We're
It's not
doing
that
it to have
serious.
fun. Yeah.
I mean, there will be judges,
Yeah.
and people will judge you.
Do you guys
But
have
like
the
other
judges?
than that, we'll have judges.
Do you have them ready already?
Pretty much, yeah. We have.
What's a girl got to do to put her name in for that?
You can. We need a girl
Yeah.
I
judge.
would love to girl judge.
It's right
Yeah.
here. If you're down, actually,
I will
it's-
sign my name in blood
It's
right now.
It's January 19th is
on a
when we're
Sunday.
doing this. It's a
I ain't
Sunday.
got nothing going on.
Perfect. We have
me-
another judge.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, for
Perfect.
sure. Do it. Because I suggested we have another woman do it.
Yeah.
I'm a woman.
Yeah,
We-
you are a woman.
I can do it.
Until you asked, we only had one judge at this point, but I wanted it to seem official.
Well, boom, now we got two, baby.
we are official. We have just had to ask them.
We just announced it
we just
yesterday.
had we
Yeah.
just have one other
Yesterday.
person
Yeah.
to ask.
You?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
We have
Yeah.
like a month and like 20
It's
days,
like
I'm pretty sure.
roughly
Is it-
2 months.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this for any bartender in the metro or just downtown? Because I
Any-
got some.
Any bartender that wants to compete
Yeah.
Okay,
is
so
allowed to do it.
Yeah,
As
if
long as
you
they're
have-
in the town.
Yeah, if you have suggestions, if they're close or whatever, like tell them. Like we
Or
want
if
to
they're
meet
in
them.
if they're in town
Yeah.
too.
Okay, I got
and
my brother bartends in Beaverdale, and I'd
Yeah.
love to see him lose.
as long as
Yeah.
they're as long as they're bartending somewhere, that's all that really
Currently a
matters.
bartender.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And we'll make exceptions. Like we're not crazy about it. Like
This year will be lax.
Yeah.
But next year,
next year,
Game
this,
on,
this
like
is
Donkey
just
Kong.
this is just a fun poor people event that we're doing called
Yeah.
Poor Wars. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna live stream everything. It's gonna do a bunch of stuff for everybody.
For sure,
We're
fun.
donating to charity.
I'm
so,
really
yeah.
excited about Best Buddies. 'cause
It'll be really
they, so him and Michael went and they did a video of it, and it's actually a really cool fundraiser.
Yeah, it's
a very
really
good charity
cool.
event for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they were a part of it for that day, but
Yeah.
to have that be bestowed for our charity, I want to see where that
And
goes.
that'll
Okay.
also like go into a series that we do on poor people of the like people that we interviewed. We're kind of talking about like showing all those interviews at the event and saving it for that and then posting them after because we got some really cool people that are like the leaders at Best Buddy. We got the champions of Best Buddy. We have the people that are in Best Buddies. Like we got a lot of really awesome interviews with them.
can you enlighten me on what Best Buddies is?
It's like Big Brother, Big Sister,
Okay.
but more on the like special needs.
Okay.
So yeah, and they like very graciously invited us to their event, and we did a bunch of like interviews on the spot there during the event. So like this is kind of our way of like giving back a little bit, as much as we can.
Well, I'd love to donate like some wristbands or a free section
Yeah.
rental to you guys to give to them, so
That
they
would
can
be
bring
awesome.
their over 21-year-old
Yes.
sisters and brothers in here.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll give you some at the end of this.
We'll definitely have to do that. We'll
Yay.
definitely
Thank
have
you,
to do
Amanda.
that. But yeah, so we totally like segued into Poor Wars, and
No,
we'll
sorry.
do a little like ad at the end
Yeah.
of this for
for sure.
Poor
And we
Wars,
really
but-
wanted you to be a part of it though too, and
Yeah.
we're glad that you get to be a judge. So that's a good thing that we
Yeah,
did mention.
you're
it, so.
officially a judge
I'm
as of
doing
right
it
now.
now.
There's,
I'm putting
I
it
mean,
on my
we're
calendar.
rolling.
We're
yeah.
making you sign it in blood. Since you specifically
I
said that.
will.
I know you will. I know you will.
Done. All of our judges now have to sign in blood.
So now for like opening this, you were here for the opening day, and now I know that you worked your way up into the GM. So being the GM specifically, you are also opening up a different location in a different city, right?
Yep.
'Kay.
So we're going to KC, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They are already also looking at some other states, so the growth will hopefully be rapid.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yep.
So why KC specifically? Do you know why? Is it just because it's closed, or just because like they know that like you can handle it? Has everyone ever questioned you on handling it?
So for KC, they were looking at Minnesota and KC, and I really pushed for KC. I actually won't be going down to open KC. I'll be down there to help open, but our bar manager, Jordan, he's going to be the GM down there, so I'm training him everything I know now to go down. But we are putting things into play because I will have to go down and help a lot. Where I'm at currently is I'm working to be district manager, so this is kind of that first stepping stone. As far as regards as, you know, the questionability or, you know, like the doubts, when I first got moved up to GM from events managing, I had a lot of regulars really question me and asking like, are you ready? Do you think you're emotionally prepared for this? Do you think that you're willing in your life right now to do this? What if you want to have a family? Like, are you gonna, even my dad was like, are you gonna be a GM forever? And so like as a woman, I think there was a lot of what's the word I'm looking for, like skepticism to be able to like, well, is this just gonna be something you do for now, and then what, are you gonna slow down and go try to find another job? And I luckily had the great support of my staff. They knew I could do this. And anytime they'd ask me that, I'd be like, why don't you think I can handle this?
Yeah.
Like I can do this shit in my sleep. I've been running, and then I had somebody be like, oh, well, are you gonna run Saturdays now? And I'm like, I've been running Saturdays since we opened.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that really did get into my head a lot when I was coming up as a GM, because I'm also you know, I'm only 29.
Same.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, so it's like
You
people
too,
expect,
probably.
people expect like you either have it all together, but like as a bartender you don't. You know.
Yeah.
Do you,
And-
sorry to interrupt.
that's
Do you
okay.
ever feel like because we're like almost 30 that like, I mean, you kind of mentioned it, but like how your dad was like saying that, like, do you ever think about that? Like, oh, I'm almost 30. Like, do I find a different job? Do I find a real job? Or are you content with just like being a GM?
Well, see, so the thing about Ricochet is I love Ricochet.
Yeah.
I've never saw myself in a career more than this. So while I don't plan on being GM for, guys, I'm trying to get out of this in a couple of years. Let me tell you, I only got so much, but I want to move up. I want to be district manager. I want to help train my GMs and my events managers and people to realize like we're in a fun spot. It's not that deep. I want to move up to opening locations. I want to be the head bitch in charge.
Yeah, dude.
So like, yeah, I have to do the stepping stones. I have to be GM. I had to bartend. I had to be events manager. And that's kind of what I tell the staff that wants to move up is like, you have to do the nitty gritty to understand. So no, I don't want to be a GM forever, but I do want to be in this business forever. I want to see Ricochet as far as it can go because I believe in this fucking thing.
Hell yeah,
You know
dude.
what
I
I'm
got
saying?
tingles when you said that,
Like,
dude.
this is my baby, and I've had the most amazing support from my owners. Like, and I'll be honest with you guys, it's been hard.
Yeah.
Like, it is not easy. Being a GM is not easy, especially of this fucking massive place. Like, there's always moving. We're only 3 years old, so we're adding things, we're changing things, new locations, trainings. I'm like training myself while training somebody else. And I've had breakdowns, full on breakdowns. And my owners have sat there, listened to me, consoled me, and said, all right, what do we do now? How do we get you there? You're doing a good job. Like they are the reason that I'm here, and my staff, like Max has seen me cry, has seen me absolutely break down. And I think that's important for your staff and your owners to see, like, it's not easy. I'm not just acting like, oh, I just got handed to this. Like, I've worked really hard, and without them, I wouldn't be here. And I think that was kind of the most frustrating thing of when I stepped into this is when people were doubting me on it, which is like, no, I put the time, I put the effort, and I'm working and learning how to do it, you know? So long answer to your question.
No,
No,
that
you're
was
okay.
great.
That was great. No, that was amazing. We need to have like a good valued person give a point across because again, you know, the owners value you and they actually listen to you. Again, Max is the reason why you actually, you know, like convinced you to work down at Shorty's, and then here you are, you're here
Yeah.
and you're working with Max still. You see it. So it all plays a very important part, but you shouldn't ever doubt yourself. And we're really big advocates on like, if you have a dream, take it and run with it. If you want to change it, that's great. If someone has an opinion about it, it's not about their life. It's about yours.
Right.
And don't ever take that to heart.
And you know how easy it is? It's like, okay, if I turn 35 and I realize, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, I have all of this stuff on my resume. I'll go do
Exactly.
something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we all do different things.
Yeah.
Like again, we're huge entrepreneurs. We do a lot of different things. We all, everyone at this table has what, 3 different jobs?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're never stuck. You can
Yeah,
always
no,
start doing
yeah.
something
No,
else, and
yeah.
especially when you are working your way up and things are falling into place. You know,
Yeah.
like don't doubt yourself. Don't
Keep
listen
going.
To the,
Thank
yeah,
you. Proud of you.
I just like, I also
yeah.
really want to start advocating for more female bar general managers around more, because I feel like there's such this like stigma that women can't do it, or like, once again, when some guy was like, what are you gonna do when you kick people out? You guys, I am the scariest bitch. I don't have to do anything. People,
Right.
Max has seen me kick people out and they do not test, and I just feel like there's not enough women that feel like they can run this. And honestly, as you would know, we're good GMs. Having love and compassion
Yeah.
and understanding. Even when I kick people out, like, I'm understanding with them. Like, man,
Yep.
you just drunk. Like, I've been there, but you gotta go.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I feel like there's, ever since this has taken place as a GM, it makes me sad for the women that don't think that they can do it.
Yeah.
Or they get shut down for it, or their owners are like, no, she can't, you know? No.
I will say, okay, first of all, there's 3 women at this table.
Yeah.
So like me and Max are in the minority, bro. But I will say, okay, one of the main reasons I've been at my job right now, for as long as I have been, which is like almost 10 years now, is because I have a female GM, and I have seen her go to different stores and come back and do all this, that, and the other. And that is the main reason why I've stayed there for so long, is because like I respect her and I stand by her.
Yeah.
Like I would do anything for her, literally. And so it's one of those things, and her family too. I know her entire family, you know, like it's one of those things where it's like, you're not just my GM anymore. You're like, you are a part of my like family now.
Yeah.
And so it is one of those things where it's like, if I had a shittier GM who didn't have that like love and compassion and stuff, I probably wouldn't be there.
I was gonna
you know?
say, I think it's really just like compassion and understanding, and I think women usually have a little more of that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll have staff text me, hey, Amanda, I'm having a really bad mental day. Like with this election, I had a staff member call in, and I was like, you know what, girl? I will cover that shift. We'll get it figured out. You take your mental day, because when I'm having a bad day, I don't want to be at work. And it's not that serious.
And that's why people
Yeah.
stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's come to me in the middle of a shift and been like, Amanda, I'm tired. You know, he works a full-time job at Recon. Shout him out for you. But he's come to me in the middle of a Saturday shift and been like, Amanda, I'm done. Like, I can't have no more to give. And I'd be like, you know what, Max? Get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll cover the bar for you. Because
There's-
it's like,
Sorry to interrupt. There's one time, I think last winter, you told me to give you the sign of overworked, and I think I worked 10 weekends in a row, and there was like the 9th weekend, I like sat there and emotionally it was just like all over the place, and I was just like, all right, yeah, this is it. Like, please let me leave. And it was just like not a time to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thankful for Amanda, because it was just like knowing her from outside of work,
Yeah.
our friendship and our work relationship, letting me not like hit a wall where I did something dumb or like said something dumb. It was just like, give me that look.
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people can do that unless you're like comfortable with your manager.
Yeah.
So,
I would never, like, we're all bartenders, so like I will always hold that, and I will never make someone work past what they can work, because I've been there, And it's not good for anybody. It's not
No,
good for them. It's
exactly.
not good for the customers. It's not good for me. It's not good for anyone. So it's like, go home. You know, if someone has to wait 5 minutes for their drinks, fuck them. They probably don't need it anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
Yeah.
like,
It's
they can
just
fucking
drinks.
wait.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like backlash from like other employees that are like see you send Max home or something like that, and then they're like, why the fuck does Max get to go home?
No,
And
so
you're like,
usually,
he's special, dude. Like, let him go.
I do it with
Try
everybody.
to not do that. I feel like
no,
that's
I know, but I'm just saying, like in that
Yeah.
scenario,
I'm
Yeah.
like, sure it's happened.
Yeah.
No, I've done it. I do it with everyone, you know. But one thing I do is before, like, if a staff member comes up to me and says, "Hey, I'm struggling" or something, I will go to each person individually and be like, "Hey," first I'll say, "Put him in the back. I'm moving. We're just gonna use Max." I'm like, "We're moving Max to the back because in the front it's always busiest.
Right.
You guys need to cover him tonight." And they're like, "Okay." And then when he starts to, really die down, or any staff member, I'll go and be like, "Are you okay if I cut? Are you okay if I cut?" And if they say yes, all right, you're gone. If they say no, I'll look at the staff member and be like, "You got to hang on just for 30 more minutes, and I will get you out." So I listen to everybody. There are times where I have to put my manager foot down and be like, "Suck it the fuck up."
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, like, every voice is heard back behind that bar.
which is so important.
Yeah.
especially as a GM.
There's even moments where, like, she's like cool with cutting, and I'm like, I'm not leaving yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know in like 30
Right.
minutes there's gonna be
I wasn't trying
party
to throw
but-
you under the
No,
table. I was
you're
just
good.
like,
He's a great example.
no, I was,
Well, why I said no is because it looks like obvious, like, oh, like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. But it's
right.
just like,
From an
no,
outside, you
it's-
could take it that way
it's
or
a
whatever.
It's the brunt of it, actually.
There's
I'm
these
hard on
moments where
that.
people don't realize when it comes from like a friend and work relationship where
Right.
you have to gauge where you're at. Like,
Right.
and therefore that's where it's like, I'm not trying to put someone else in a terrible situation, so I'm gonna hold it down. Or if there's moments where it's like, you need to go, like,
You guys also got to remember too is the bartenders want everyone off the clock as soon as
Exactly.
possible.
Yeah,
'cause
'cause
they
they wanna
want that
make the
money.
money. Yeah.
So they're
That's
like,
how I
"Oh,
look
Max
at it.
wants to leave at 10:30. We aren't getting hit till midnight. I'll drown."
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
sometimes I have to keep people on the
Well,
clock.
like you said, when you're like, you can be cut, but you're like, no, like I
Exactly.
know there's gonna be another
Yeah.
rush, and I know I can make another like
Well-
50 to $100.
well,
Like I'm
that
staying.
and other than just making extra money, I don't want the next time you're in, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
you left.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
But no, our staff is they're real chill with each other. Like, they understand. Some days you got to pick up other people's slack, and some days you don't. And
Yeah.
I think that's a really nice thing that we work with.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, when other staff members are down and I look at Max, like, you got to pick their slack up. He's like, "I got it," you know? So,
I just try not to backtalk or show that I'm frustrated because. Well, just on top of that, it's not that serious.
it's not,
Yeah.
it's never
No,
that
yeah.
serious.
It's
I
never
look
that
at it
serious.
as time. Like, all right, an hour into the shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. Like, I used to demo burning buildings, so it's like
So like,
Yeah, this is
is
not that
like,
serious.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not war.
Sometimes I have that moment, like in the middle of like a busy shift, where I'm like, it's not that serious. It's just drinks. They will be fine.
Yeah.
This
But
is
then-
a luxury, you know?
To me, what's easier is like, what am I gonna go do right now?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm gonna complain, obviously something's on my mind to be like, I want to do that, but most of the time it's like it could wait or it's not worth it. So that's where I think a lot of people don't realize, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I hate hearing people complain about staying on the shift too long or not working when it's busy, because it's like those moments of just suck it up.
Oh yeah, no, and that's
your
exactly
dues.
why I asked, because I
Yeah.
feel like people like bitch about that all the time,
Right.
and it's like,
And
oh
there's
well, they
room
got to
for
go
it.
home. I wanted to go home. Well, it's like, yeah, everybody wants to go home.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah, I learned that like working at 6 a.m. like cold.
Yeah.
Just like I want to go home, and then like the 60-year-old dude who's been doing it forever. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Me
Same.
too.
For the
Yeah.
last 30 years.
Yeah.
I've wanted to go home for 30
Figure it
years,
out.
bro.
That's when I've just learned, like, all right, just shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll go home eventually.
Okay, I have one more question, and then we can go into douche of the week, and then we can wrap up from there.
Okay.
Okay, so the question that I have was, this is like one of the first things we started talking about, how you guys said you guys don't have a cover here. This place is obviously massive. So, like, do you think that you would have a different crowd of people that came in here if you did have a cover? Or do you think that would be better for business or worse for business? Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think the benefit is of not having a cover?
So I think, when you come in, you want to play a game, it's $6. That's the cover, So we're already
to
charging.
be in here. There's no cover.
There's to come in the door to drink, and you can play free games. There's no cover, but there is a different bar that used to charge a cover, and then you'd have to buy drinks, and you have to do that. I think that if we tried to charge a cover, and then we tried to say, "Oh, here's a $6 game pass," and then we tried to say, "Oh, it's $7 for Tito's," I think that's where we would honestly probably lose business. I think it does benefit us a lot because, when you pay a cover at a different bar downtown, you want to leave and you're like, well, I don't want to go pay it again. Let's just go to Ricochet. And then you kind of stick there. You buy a couple drinks and you leave. I think it helps. It definitely helps us in our busy holidays, like New Year's, Halloween, St. Patty's Day, because people want to move around. And we're a great spot to just come take a breath. Let's play some skee ball and let's get out. Because you don't have to buy skee ball coins. You don't have to do any of that. So
I also feel like a cover adds expectations.
It
of the
does.
experience. And so for us catering to, pay $6 for our premium games, I feel like it's almost its own different business. It's like you're coming in here for that.
Yeah.
And if you like games like that most places you go to, you gotta pay.
Yeah.
So it's like dealing with a crowd that wants to accept, that's reality of what it is. And then we're also competing with all the other bars down here.
Right.
No cover. So it's like, do you want to stand at the bar and be a degenerate like the rest of the bars you go to? Or do you want to go play one of the best ping pong players in Iowa and get humbled? And therefore the guy who is that good at ping pong, he's paying $6
Yeah.
every time he comes in here. So
and it's a killer deal too. I mean, you go to a different place and you have to pay $20 for a game
Right.
card, and each game's $1.
Yeah. Right.
Like you spend $50 here. It's like,
Yeah.
and you buy the wristband, you can leave and come back all day
Yeah.
and play games. So
well, and also like bars that have activities and it's free. Let's all be honest. There's moments where like the equipment and stuff is
Yeah.
hit or miss, and I think that gives you an automatic mindset that it's like not important. Here, it's like, no, like
we care about
if
our
you're
games.
gonna like complain about the $6, I think 2 minutes into playing the games and the experience you have and what you're using, you kind of realize we keep up with it.
Yeah,
And
we
so
make
therefore-
it. The $6 are well worth it.
Yeah.
well worth it. I
Well-
will. If you're complaining about $6 playing games,
Right.
then you come to the
To
bar.
all these games.
But
Yeah.
then if you come to the bar, I'm gonna become your best friend.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like I'm gonna at least make it up to you in a different way.
Well, I think that just says a lot about like this establishment in general, because honestly, like there's bars that are charging more covers that you don't get this fun atmosphere
You're
and to do
standing
shit.
there.
And exactly. And
It's
so
not
it's like
big.
I
In the
think we
club.
should start a petition that like bars shouldn't have covers anymore and just like let that shit ride, dude.
I
Like,
agree, but the bars that have covers, they're small.
Right,
Like a
and-
lot of them are small.
And
Here
some
it's
bars
like,
it makes sense. Some bars it makes sense. Like I get it.
but $20 cover,
Right.
never.
Right.
You won't ever catch me paying a $20
Well,
cover.
I was gonna say
Not for like $20 to go drink a $10 drink. No way. I'm sorry.
Heck
Bye.
no.
the reason
There better be the
The
best
re-
DJ.
The reason I brought this up was
Probably.
because I was in Kansas City a couple weekends ago, and we walked into this bar that was like, it was a nice bar. It was like similar to this. It wasn't like a game bar, but like in quality, it was like similar. And they just had like one person playing piano, and it was like a $15 cover, and they weren't even playing it that good. And I was like, dude, I'm not paying $15 to come in here for a beer and watch this shitty person play piano.
Yeah.
You
and
said
whisper to your
Kansas City.
friends.
You said Kansas City.
Yeah,
I think in bigger cities they do that because
more often. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because they
I
want they don't
know.
want to pay. The bar doesn't probably want to pay for the piano. They want the people to pay for it.
I
And
also
then-
Right.
think just crowd control. If they didn't have a cover, it's just like shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
There'd be
Don't
people
you want
like,
that?
"What is going
Yeah.
on? Why is there a piano
Right.
player?"
So I get it, like why certain bars do have covers, but also at the same time, like
They shouldn't.
there's
shouldn't.
certain bars that probably don't
No.
need a
I
cover
think
that
people
have
just
one.
need to do better at gauging weekends or busy nights
Yeah.
on when to do it and not to do it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
If it's not a vibe in there,
Right.
like I've been
Literally.
in so many bars where I pay a cover and it's like not the vibe. And
Yeah.
I'm like, God
Damn it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or you guys
hate
like
that.
the bullshit where it's like it's $20 at 10, $40 at 11,
Oh,
$100 at midnight.
You're
like,
saying I have to be here all night? in
yeah,
order for,
I'm not
yeah.
paying no $80 to come in here on New Year's to be asses to elbows with Stinky McGee on the dance
exactly.
floor.
Oh,
Fucking
fuck.
bitches throwing up in the middle of the
Yeah.
dance
Oh
floor.
God,
Give
yeah.
me my $80 back.
They paid $80 to throw up in the middle of your bar. I hope you're happy.
I would feel terrible about someone paying like $10
Yeah.
to get in here and Amanda had to go clean up shit.
Oh,
Like, no.
should charge them.
Like, I'm good.
The glamorous life of
Well-
a GM, baby.
Oh man. Well, I was gonna say too, and then we can end on that too. It's just like, yeah, there you shouldn't have to, like, I don't know, certain bars shouldn't need a cover.
That's the
but they
douche
do.
of the
Yeah.
week. Don't be
That's-
shitting on the fucking
That is
All right, so with that, we can go into douche of the week. Douche of the week that we do, it's basically just like, it can be a customer, it can be a pet peeve, it can be something a coworker did. It's mostly just pet peeves is your douche of the week.
I have one.
And I mean, if you want your shit cleaning up, I mean, that's a douche
Yeah,
of the
that
week. That's a
really
douche of the week
counts.
for sure.
Not to make it the main topic conversation, but yeah. That.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. That was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough.
That's a
also,
big douche of the
okay,
week.
can I get kind of gross?
Grosser
Feel
than
free.
that?
Feel
Yeah.
free.
I was gonna
I've
say.
had to clean
what?
up girls' periods
Oh,
off of the
fuck.
toilet, and it's like, honey, if you are that drunk, go home.
Oh my God.
Go home.
Is it
I
a
didn't know
thing
that.
that like girls
Yes.
are girls' restrooms just like usually worse than guys?
Yeah.
That's my experience.
I-
You guys just
Listen.
pee on the floor.
right.
There's so many other things coming
my
out in every which
God.
way.
There's just more
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
break
You ain't never
things.
seen no blood on men.
Yeah, we just break things and pee everywhere. Other than that,
You don't even know how to aim.
So that's that. Yeah, that's mine.
No.
We had a customer a couple weeks ago that was kind of, I felt old and also just an eye opener. Tried paying with a passport.
oh, like using that as their ID.
No, they tried
Pay.
To pay.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually tried to pay.
And Amanda had to step in, and it was a moment where like the fact that everyone working had to be involved. Screams volumes of how dumb it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy like argued with Amanda for 20 minutes trying
I
to pay with
cut
the
him off.
passport.
I cut him off, and I was so. I think it was Max or someone else was dealing with him, and I went over and I knew he was drunk, so I was doing the test. You guys know, like where you go to pour a drink, but you hold the nozzle
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
no alcohol comes out. So it was all cranberry, and I go to hand it to him, gives me his passport, and I'm like, no, I need your card, and he's like, this is my card, and I'm like, no, whatever. We get into it, and I'm like, I'm not serving you anymore. He proceeds to go grab his friend and tell his friend that they cut me off. They're not serving me. I tried to pay. What? His friend comes up. I tell his friend about it, and his friend's like, all right, you dipshit. Like, you know you're not getting served. He walks away. The kid comes up with one of his friend's cards and is like, I have a card. And I'm like, no. Mind you guys, I'm laughing. Like, I'm laughing at this kid. It's fucking hilarious. And I'm like, no, I'm not serving you. Like, you failed the test and you failed it with the
Yeah.
GM. This is the worst person, right?
Yeah.
So he leaves. He goes, grabs another girl, comes up, brings her. I have to repeat the story.
And she tried being nice.
Yeah,
No.
so she's like, no, whatever.
It's
He
not
walks
tap
away.
to
Mind
pay.
you, I didn't kick him out. I was like, you're just drunk. If I see you drinking something else. Actually, I think at one point I even said, just drink your friend's drink. Like,
Right.
stop bugging me.
Yeah.
Not even 5 minutes later, I see security kicking him out because he started a fight.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the way he was acting with the passport, it was like tap to
Yeah.
pay. Like I didn't know. Like I had to be
Like he's
am
like,
I-
no, this works, and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm
I
not
thought
TSA, motherfucker.
Well, also, like, I thought there was a whole nother
my
life I haven't lived yet. Like, what am I doing?
This is not customs.
And
so new.
Technology.
I've been using this story to test it on, like my dad and like older people and younger people and see their reaction. And they're like, someone tried paying with a passport. I'm like, yeah. Like,
It's-
that's,
Yeah.
We've seen it all. We've dealt with it all. Like,
Yeah.
there's like what more? Like, what new little razzle dazzle
Yeah,
can someone
the
come up with?
entitlement.
Literally.
No, for sure. It's insane how much like new things we learn just by someone's stupid antics that they like. What clock was
Yeah.
turning or wheels were turning in that brain to where like you could take your passport out and be like, I could pay with
and
this.
he was older. Like,
The confidence is just
mad
really
at us.
honestly,
so
the
mad at
confidence made me laugh enough.
Yeah.
Being behind Manda, being like, I can't handle
Well, and then you know it's bad because all the bartenders know about it. So like I'm standing in our spot,
Yeah.
and they're kind of the corner, and you just see each one of them come up, and I have to retell the story while that group is looking at me. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're getting roasted so
Yeah.
hard right now.
Then they just get more defensive.
Yes.
Now they're embarrassed and mad.
I just really hope he woke up and was like, wow, I tried
He's
paying with a passport.
Was that
No,
a dream?
I'm sure he woke up and he's like, those fucking assholes.
See, that's where I'm like, I had to question the younger.
Wouldn't even accept my
the youth.
passport as currency.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't think I have it.
I don't either. I worked Friday and it was slow as fuck.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't either afher those. Those are
Yeah,
pretty
those-
good dishes of the
Yeah,
week.
those.
Hey, let me know if you ever need a feature. We got them weekly.
I don't know. I'm
Some
trying to
shit
think
in here.
because I mean,
You have one.
I think I was the douche of the week.
Oh, that's still a
my
douche of the
favorite.
week.
I think
That's
I
still
was
a
the douche of the week because I went out to West Glen
Okay.
and I was drinking. And I was trying to. Oh, I know. I was like, so I was okay. So I was
It's
talking.
all coming back to
Yes,
me.
yeah. So we're at Arboletos. We were drunk as shit, and I was waiting for my food and things like that. And this guy, smelled like Michael because Michael smells like honey all the time. And Michael has this cologne. He smells really good. He smells like honey.
Is he
smells-
wearing it right now?
I don't know. You have to go smell him. Anyways,
Michael, get over here.
Michael,
come here,
We
please.
need a
Do you
sniff
smell
test.
like your
We need a
cologne, your
sniff test.
honeyness?
we need to know if
You
you,
need to
smell
get
like
over
honey.
here. You need to get on
Do you
camera
smell like
really
honey
quick.
to drizzle?
We have to. He's
So
lying.
This
He's
guy,
lying.
I was like, "Oh, you smell like my producer," and he goes, "Oh, I smell like money." And he's like, "Producer, what do you produce? Are you a singer?" I go, "No, I have a podcast." And he starts laughing at it, like at me. And I looked at him, I go,
Actually, you smell like shit.
and I looked at him, I go, "You know, ironically, that you're laughing at me and you're telling me that you smell like money, and that because I don't sing
If
music,
you-
I'm a downgrade." He was talking to some other guy, and he goes, "That's cool. I could start my own podcast." I go, "That's cool. Then do it. Then fucking do it because I don't see you doing shit by
You
being
did
drunk in this
start-
goddamn Arbolatos."
You did start like a strike in his head of like producer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
He was
sorry. I
immediately
was drunk. I'm
intimidated.
sorry. I get it. I understand.
That
it.
is
I
his
understand.
insecurity coming out. And when
Yeah.
people talk that shit to me, I call them out on that. I'm
Yeah.
like, you sound insecure. What are you doing?
Yeah, what like? Oh, I'm sorry. I have a podcast. What the fuck do you have?
Oh, you
Funny.
could start one? Well, I have one.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
I do have a
Sorry.
funny story
I don't
where
mean
I
to be
was
cocky,
in the
but we're
wrong.
pretty cool.
I was in the wrong. I was drinking in Colorado. It was bar closed. I was having a
Asshole.
moment with my best friend, and she knows that we were chilling as one of the last people in the bar. The bouncer comes up to me and he's like, "Finish up your drinks." And I was like, "Yeah, like we're almost done. We're almost out." The bartender was cool with us staying for a second. Like we weren't abusing trying to stay.
Yeah.
And he chose to stand next to me like this. And he was like, you're done when I blink.
Oh, what?
Fuck.
And you're just like locking eyes with him, and you're like, all right, let's go, dude.
He automatically challenged me. I just was like, oh, you're fucked. And I had like half.
You're like, I don't blink.
Half my drink was still around. So no, so I'm
You got
drinking
tape.
it.
You're like taping your eyes.
So
open.
listen, so I'm drinking it.
Sorry, dude.
And I'm like taking my time. And he's like staring at me like, come on. And I'm like, are your eyes dry? And
Fucking
he got so mad that I looked at my friend. I was like, I think I took it too far. And I finished my drink, and he went, can I give you a hug? And I was like, I
This
was
is gonna be the
like,
kind of hug that I'm gonna like.
I was like, why do you want to give me a hug? And he goes, I could tell you've had a difficult night. And I'm like, valid. And so he hugged me, and
He hugged you, then yeeted you out of the bar.
no, he dropped all of his weight back.
Oh.
And I just went with him.
Oh.
And I have a video of it.
You gotta
need to
send us
send it
that
to us,
video.
yeah.
You gotta send us that video.
He hit his head. And I laughed so I laughed so hard because we're both on the ground, and it hurt me. But like, he took his weight, so I'm just like,
I mean, he did it, right?
I'm like, I'm 190 pounds.
That's the closest you've been to flying.
Yes. And we're laying on the ground together, and we're both like, oh. And he looks at me and goes, I could tell you needed that.
Oh my god.
And
he's like unconscious. And then,
well,
like
no,
right after.
So I shot up, and I was like, are you okay? You'll see in the video. And
Dude.
he's like, yes. But the fact this bouncer went that far, he looked at me while staring at the ceiling. It was like, you needed that. And I shot it, and I was like, we gotta go. I'm happy. Everything that happened that I was bitching about to my friend, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it all sparked when he said, like, you have until I blink. And I was like,
He started it.
I was like,
He wanted to play the
well,
game.
I think he's done that a lot. And he
Yeah.
was just like,
Probably.
he was just like waiting for me, like, oh yeah. And I was just like taking my time, staring at him. And I was just like, your eyes dry?
He's
And
like, I'm pissed
that
now.
pissed him the fuck off.
Oh
So
man.
mad he needed a hug.
Yeah.
Well,
he was the one that
He was
needed
trying
the
to
hug.
concuss
hard.
himself. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I thought, like, when I was about to get hugged, I was going to get thrown.
That's
Like,
what
I
I'm
was
saying.
ready
That's
for
an
it.
automatic thought.
And I think I accepted that. I was like, whatever happens right now, it's gonna happen. I'm
Golden
on
retriever
vacation.
energy.
Yeah.
When he hit his head, I was like,
Yeah.
that was for you
Still
too.
gonna get the pets and the love at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, he did. He got a lot of love, and he sprung back up, and he's, I'm happy. I'm happy. We're leaving. We are so leaving.
Yeah.
Thank
Golden
you.
retriever.
Goodbye.
Oh
It
man.
was,
Yeah.
That's
That's good.
hilarious.
Yeah, well-
on video, it looks very questionable on my end, but I just want you guys to know.
You gotta, yeah.
That was on him.
I
You gotta-
want to see this
He
now.
played therapist. Okay.
If you're
Yeah.
cool with us putting that in this video, we'll
I'll
put it in
send
this
it to
video.
you.
Perfect.
I look crazy, but
You
it's
gotta
fine.
send it to us.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
So
here for
with
it.
that, we can wrap it up as we always do. Make sure you follow us on Patreon, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music now,
Yeah, that's
all of our
actually a
good stuff. Follow our link tree in our Instagram bio. Make sure do you guys want to shout out anything before we sign off here? Like, you want to guys give your Instagram handles, whatever?
Shout out Adapt Idol.
Yes.
My Instagram page.
Oh, that is you. That is you. Oh,
Uh,
yeah, we've talked about this before.
Shout out Recon, because you're probably gonna interview more people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
a second, I
Yes.
think.
That's
for
all I
Ricon.
got.
Yeah.
And Ricochet.
Yeah,
Ricochet.
shout out Ricochet. Come see us on Saturdays with the new GJ series.
Nice.
Don't follow me on anything. I'm boring.
I love it. Well,
Awesome.
thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
thank you
Thank
both
you
for
so
being on
much.
here and
Yeah.
giving the time to be here.
Absolutely. Don't forget to sign up for Pour Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pour Wars.
I'm your
Please sign up for Pour
judge.
Wars.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Amanda's
do
our
to close it
judge.
out?
All right, you
All
ready?
right.
For richer, for poor.
Thanks for watching Poor People.
Hey. Yeah, I gotta pee so bad,
Did you
dude.
do good?
Holy